Hey, it's Anthony from TBN, and to help tide us over for the release of Requiem, Asobo Studios have opted to release a 4K 60fps version of A Plague Tale: Innocence on PS5 and Xbox Series X. So let's take a look at the original PS4 and PS5 versions side by side, as well as review how the game stacks up in 2021. Set in the southwestern region of France, A Plague Tale: Innocence is a pretty straightforward affair. Stop me if you've heard this plotline before. A young whippersnapper somehow gains an immunity or power from an infectious disease. Said youth has a huge falling out with their sibling/parent because, you know, kids do the darndest things. And then finally, after a long, grueling adventure, the pair are reunited in an ultra-dramatic scene. Usually with someone else dying in the process. And if it's a big bad, 6,000 points for Gryffindor. Look, before you instantly dislike this video, I'm not saying that following a cliched formula is inherently bad. It just needs something to make it stand out amongst the masses. So the question is, does Innocence succeed on that front? Well, kind of. Descending from royalty, Amicia's journey to cure her sick younger brother, Hugo, whilst being on the run from the Inquisition and English army is intriguing to watch. And there definitely are some interesting twists and turns along the way. Although I never found myself as attached to these characters in comparison to games of a similar ilk like The Last of Us or Telltale's Season 1 of The Walking Dead. I wasn't the biggest fan of the voice acting either. A fair amount of the dialogue was delivered pretty well, and there were some standout performances, but at the same time, some of the acting can be really grating to listen to, especially that pain in the rear end, Hugo.
What on earth are you doing? Put that mallet down. Are you stupid or what?
I am not stupid.
Don't shout.
Children, that's enough noise.
I want to see Mummy.
Shut up. You're going to get us killed.
Mummy will protect us.
That's enough.
I want to see Mummy.
Mummy is dead, Hugo. You'll never see her again. Or Daddy.
Amicia.
You're lying.
The presentation of these narrative elements sit comfortably above average, but never truly cross that line into greatness. Same goes for the rest of the experience. The main gameplay loop uses Amicia's sling to take down and distract enemies while sneaking around the stunning yet horrifying environments to escape the aforementioned threats. And when you combine that with the hordes of flesh-eating rats that are scared of the light and will literally burn up like the vampires from What We Do in the Shadows, the game brings forth a very distinct setup that allows for a whole slew of fun puzzles and scenarios to conquer throughout. Also, since the protagonists aren't superheroes, while some people might think royalty is a superpower, it adds a feeling of groundedness to the proceedings, as any major slip-up or detection almost always results in a quick stab to the pectorals. But there's the rub. From the outset, the patrolling soldiers that happen to discover you and give chase will curb stomp Amicia in seconds. However, at about the halfway point of the adventure, the soldiers basically become target practice, as the amount of options the player has on hand to assault and silently take down enemies feels like something straight out of an Assassin's Creed game. Players will no doubt upgrade all of Amicia's perks and grow even more powerful by the hour, whilst hoarding tons of resources in order to craft deadly weapons in seconds. What ends up happening is that Amicia steadily evolves into a killing machine powerhouse extraordinaire, as the once threatening vanguard of the Inquisition and English army are quickly reduced to a mere annoyance. Some may like this power fantasy setup, and fair enough, I can see the appeal, but at the end of the day, slaughtering soldiers left and right undeniably removes any real sense of danger. As a whole, A Plague Tale: Innocence is a solid, linear experience with some interesting ideas and plenty of charm to boot. While it doesn't attempt to revolutionize the formula or sit shoulder to shoulder with similar AAA titles, its unique puzzles, stealth gameplay, and a tale of innocence lost, pun intended, is certainly worth checking out. Guys, if you enjoyed this vid, give us a thumbs up. And be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon next to it so you won't miss an upload. For more survival horror content, check out my review of Resident Evil Village. or visit thebetanetwork.net to read my full written review on A Plague Tale: Innocence.